Hello, welcome everyone to our Sprouting from Your Scraps, your kitchen scraps. Today we are very lucky to be joined by Talia Chain, who will tell us a bit about she runs Sadeh. We're really excited to have her and learn from her professionalism and her understanding of how to make everything grow, and learn all about her green fingers and like take stuff from our kitchen and be able to create plants that we can then put in our gardens and have fruit and veg growing in our gardens. We had a this past summer we were very lucky to stay on Sadeh with Talia, and we were really amazed with the things that we learned from her and very excited to learn more. And what we were really impressed by was that the kids just really enjoyed learning about plants and getting stuck into things and getting their hands in the dirt and learning about things. And they even had the chance to harvest wheat and turn it into bread. So without any further delay, I'm gonna pass over to Talia.
Hello. Let me know if you can't hear me because I live on a farm, so our internet's a bit dodgy. So we are doing a session for Bishvat, which was just this past week, and it's a good time. Bishvat is the birthday of the trees, and we're not doing anything with trees, but it's a really good time to go outside and have a look at what's changing in nature around you. Because one of the reasons to have Bishvat at this time of the year is because it's when the sap is rising. So the trees have gone to sleep over the winter, their leaves have fallen and mulched the soil underneath them, returning nourishment to the trees. And at this time of year, the sap begins to rise in the tree. That means that the tree slowly begins to awaken. So it's a nice time to start thinking about awakening plants and how you can give life to plants yourself. And there's lots of ways that you can grow plants and lots of ways that you can grow plants that are also food, and sometimes plants that you don't even think will be food. Like there's plenty of weeds in your garden that I bet people just pick and put in the compost bin that you can actually eat yourselves, but that's a different session. So today we're going to think about the food scraps, like when you make a salad and you chop it all up and you want to throw away the ends of things. Instead, you can put them in soil or in water and you can make new plants. Just before we start on that, I want to show you, we sowed the first seeds at Sadeh this past week. I always do it on the week of Bishvat. It's kind of like a spiritual moment when you sow your first seeds of the year, and they're onion seeds, because onion seeds you can sow really early, even in December if you wanted to get big bulbs that you pick in June. So if you're going to say to me, what should I sow now if I want to sow seeds and not just grow from food scraps? Onion seeds are really good, and also peas. But let me show you how big they are. They're just very tiny. You see? That's a tiny onion seedling. And some of them still actually have the seed on the plant. That's the seed. The plant has grown kind of out the bottom and the seed has stayed on it. So that's really fun because these are the first seeds that we grow in 2021 at Sadeh. And if you come in June, you'll probably eat this. Each of these will be a huge onion. Cool. So I'm going to show you some stuff. I know you're on mute, but if you have questions, you just unmute and ask me. And I'm sure you will, because has anyone grown any fruits or vegetables before from food scraps? You don't have to.
I wanted to show you Nadavia in nursery for Bishvat planted chickpeas, and this was like last week. Look at they've grown. Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Look.
They grow so quickly. It's really fun.
Food.
That's really cool. So the next step for that is to put it in as much sunlight as you can inside. Chickpeas are perfect. Chickpeas are Middle Eastern vegetables, so they love heat. You can't put them outside yet, but you will be able to in the summer. Awesome. Okay, and we're going to have a look at Jonah's pineapple a bit later today that he's been growing. just from the top of a pineapple. Okay, we're going to start with the water veggies. So there's two ways, there's many ways. There's two ways we're going to look at today, which is growing things in water and growing things in soil. Here are a few of the things I have, and maybe you can just show me the things you have so I kind of know where we are. I've brought with me this cabbagey thing, a beetroot, a potato, and a carrot. And then I have some other bits and pieces that I'll show you later. What have you guys got with you?
We have the end of a carrot.
But it's just a little bit because I
Yeah, that's fine.
I cooked the rest of it.
Onion.
Garlic.
We have garlic. And we have the end of a leek.
Perfect.
With a
Yes,
bit of the
garlic.
root on the end of the good.
I have potatoes, celery, onion, and some cabbage.
Perfect. Augusta, what do you guys have?
We have lettuce.
Celery, we've got carrot. And then I didn't know if you could do anything with this. We've got a kohlrabi here that hasn't been used for a while.
Yeah.
Ginger.
Yeah.
Anything with it. Courgette. Potato. Leek. We've got like lots of stuff. We just did boil.
Loads of things. Okay, so for you, it will see just how many bowls you can fit in one area, because you're going to end up with like a little area filled with bowls of water. So we'll see what you want. Leek is a great one. Okay, so with water, you can do, what am I going to do? You can definitely use your garlic in the water. You can do carrot. You can do lettuce. Let's start with those, because I think those are what everyone said. Probably should have written that down. So,
Girls, do we have to put garlic in the water, or can we do it in the soil?
you can do it with soil as well. I've just split them up into ones that tend to work better in soil and ones that tend to work better in water, but they should actually all work in both.
Okay. Our garlic already kind of just does its own thing by itself.
That's so fun. Garlics do tend to sprout on their own. And this will just help it along. I'm going to get my garlic. But what you want is a shallow dish, something a bit like this, but you can use, I've also got this mug here, something shallowish, you know, because you don't want things to drown in the water. I'm just going to get my little garlic clove.
Hi, Archie.
Yeah, I've got my assistant here with me today, Archduke Chain Charig. He will be assisting.
Who wants to do it in water, the garlic, and who wants to do it in soil?
Okay, so if we take something like a garlic, the main thing is to know what is the difference between the roots and the top. The top is the pointy bit. So if your garlic has already started sprouting, it should be sprouting from the top, the pointy bit. And the bottom will be the roots part, if that makes sense. Let me know if that doesn't make sense. Should be this way up. Excuse my very shaky hands.
Should we just do one garlic or all of like the whole bulb?
Each garlic clove, if you plant it outside in your garden, will make a whole new garlic bulb.
Wow.
Should we peel the garlic?
Mine is kind of half peeled. You don't really need to peel it. And I think if you peel it too much, it will rot. I just took off like the big bits. But this is not really going to make a new garlic bulb. This is going to make garlic spring greens, I'd call them, which are going to be long shoots, and they'll just be really delicious garlic flavored greens. So you'll just be able to chop them like chives, but instead of tasting oniony, they'll taste a bit more garlicky. Now, the thing is with a garlic clove is it's not that easy to stand up. So in a bowl like this, you're going to struggle unless you have loads. But perhaps in a pot a bit like this.
We have this. What about this? It's going to sit on the top.
Let me just have a look. How does it sit at the top?
It will just plop in, I think.
Oh, I see. Okay, but you need to be really careful that it doesn't sink. And if the whole thing soaks up all the water, I think what you'll find is that it will get heavier and heavier, and then it will sink to the bottom. And the problem with that is, to get a bit sciencey, is anaerobic respiration. Exactly that, and it will start to rot. Exactly that, Hadassah. Yeah, Zara, that looks like it could be pretty good. I try it. The other trick you can do with this is to take a bit of kitchen wool or kitchen paper, not kitchen wool, and use that as a base. So if you put that in there, all of a sudden you've got a nice base to put your garlic on, and you can make it stand up a bit easier. That would be my other suggestion for the garlic. Once you've got it standing up, just take your water and pour a bit in.
How much water are we putting in?
So you want it to cover the garlic. I'd say you just want to leave a bit of the top, maybe a centimetre. With all of these, it's recommended that you change the water every day. I never remember to change the water every day when I do this, but I do change it every few days because otherwise the water tends to get a bit moldy. I'd also say, like, with this, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. So doing a few is good because you're never going to quite know.
Is this good?
Let me have a look.
Sorry, I'm just gonna.
Okay, take your time.
This good?
Yeah, that looks really good. Look, it's like sticking up. It's perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely perfect. You can put 5 in there. You can put however many you want in there. You don't need to just put 1. I've just put the 1 because my garlic isn't exactly it. I'm using it today, so I don't want to put it all in this food scraps.
Is ours good?
Let's have a look. Yeah, that looks lovely. That looks really good. And so put it somewhere quite sunny if you can.
So are we waiting now? We just leave it to grow in here. We're not moving this into the soil at all, right?
Wait, what end do you put it? Which end goes in the water? I missed that bit. The pointy.
No, the pointy end sticks up and the roots end, the more flat end, goes in the water. Now, another way to do this with garlic, though, is to just take this clove, and you can do this as well. Take a clove and literally just dig a little hole outside and put it in, and you might get a whole garlic bulb. So you can try that as well after this. You can do both. It depends. If it's organic, it probably will grow again. If it's not organic, I don't know what will happen to it. Look at this tiny place.
And also put bottom side down and upper side up in a cup and fill it with water.
There you go. Exactly. So now I'm going to show you maybe a slightly easier one. A carrot.
Carrot, here we go.
Because a carrot is something we all eat all the time, and it's a really easy one to do. Yesterday, I chopped a carrot for a casserole, or that Friday, and I ended up with this top bit. So you want to end up with this top bit. This is the top bit of a carrot, just the top bit. A couple of centimeters.
Can I have this carrot, or is this?
Yeah, that's
good
perfect.
enough?
But you need a carrot which has a top. So it needs to have like these bits, because if you pull a carrot out the ground, this bit sticks out from the soil and there's big green leaves that come out of it, and that's how you pull it out. If you think about Roger Rabbit, that is how he collects all his carrots. Not Roger Rabbit, Peter Rabbit. He collects all his carrots by pulling out these green bits. And rabbits love the green bits of the carrot and the carrot. So you just want this top bit. Once you've got the top bit of the carrot, you get a little cup. You fill it with some water, a little bit. And you pop the carrot in. And it sits in the water. But the top bit sticks out. That needs to go in quite a sunny, in a sunnyish space as well, if possible. And you need to remember to change the water, because the water is going to get a little bit gross otherwise.
What will we hopefully see happen from that?
You will hopefully see green shoots come up. So from the top bit of the carrot, the green parts will grow again. Like the brown bit is where the green parts were cut off.
So what do we do with that? Once it shoots out, do we then put that in the soil in the garden?
Once the green bits are like here, you can put it in the soil in the garden.
Cool. And when you plant it, you would leave the green bits showing over ground?
Exactly, because if you sow a carrot, all you see in the ground are green, long green bits. The green bits of a carrot can be this long, they can be huge. And sometimes you'll just see the top of the carrot poking through the soil, because it loves to come up a bit early to just see the sun. And that's how you take them out. At Sadet, the carrots grow so big that it's actually a bit hard to pull them out with your hands, and you need a tool, because they're just, the carrots can be this fat and this long. But we grow them from seeds, not from food scraps. So I don't know how big these will be.
So this will grow one carrot, hopefully, like it will regrow down.
Exactly. It will grow one carrot, the carrot bit will grow down, and the green bits will grow up. I've actually never got to the stage where I've put them in the soil, because whenever I've done this before to eat the greens, to grow the greens, we just use the greens, because we sow a lot of carrots at Sadet, and carrot greens are really nice. And I think something that we don't have, I don't know, something that's really useful for me to have in my kitchen at all time is just a variety of greens to put in salads or to just eat if I'm hungry. So it's good to have like carrot greens, garlic greens knocking about. The actual vegetables I can grow from seed, but also you should totally do it and try it and let me know how it goes, because that would be awesome.
What's the difference between growing from seeds and growing from scraps?
A big difference. You're going to get a much bigger plant if you grow from the seed. A seed has all the information in it needed to grow a full plant. 1 second, I'm just going to show you some awesome seeds I have. Okay, I just did my seed order. Millions of seeds, miraculous. Use them for Purim. I'm going to show you a big seed.
But can seeds work if they're out of date? Because we have some seeds that are best before 2018.
That's fine. I'd say try any seed that is in the last 5 years. I know they say best before dates, but the last 5 years is usually fine. Okay, so I'm going to show you one of the most wonderful seeds that you can ever possibly find. The French bean seed. This is a climbing bean. this tiny seed, it's the size of like my nail, this tiny seed is going to be taller than me, not that it's that difficult, maybe 7 foot tall, this wide, and have, you know, maybe 100 beans grow. Beans, this big beans, all with their own seeds in, just from this one seed. And that is because a seed contains within it all the information. It's like a baby in a tummy. It has all the information needed to be the most beautiful, wonderful, huge plant. It has so much nutrition already in it to feed the plant. And it uses that nutrition to grow to be a plant. When it's a certain amount high, then you need to feed it and water it like a human. But with a little bit of food and a little bit of water and a little bit of sunshine, it will grow to a huge thing. And even before that, it contains all that nutrition just to get to this size. A food scrap has already done that. It's used all the energy from the seed to become a huge magical plant, like a carrot. We took a seed, we sowed it in the ground, we watered it, it became a beautiful carrot. It used up all the nutrition in the seed to become that carrot. When you cut it off, when you eat it and you just have a little bit of that carrot left, you're basically saying, you're taking like a very tiny bit of that seed. It's as if you cut up this seed like 100 times and you just had 100th of the seed. So it doesn't have the nutrition within itself needed to grow a whole new plant. On the other hand, the miracle of growing from food scraps when it works is that it still has some nutrition and information in it needed to grow. So you will get something. So from my little carrot, top of the carrot, you'll get greens that then you can eat. And those greens are just kind of waiting in the carrot for a bit of water and a bit of light to become a plant that you can then eat and is nutritionally rich. It has loads of vitamins in it, which is really cool because of like things like photosynthesis and osmosis and these scientific words that mean they can take in sunlight and water and produce new things, which is really cool. So I hope that answers your question. Let me know any other questions. Does anybody have an avocado stone? Because I can show that to you. Next. And then we're going to go to Shay Rachel. Okay, we're going to skip over the avocado stone.
I have one, sorry.
That's okay. It's not really the right time to be eating avocados, so it's a good sign that nobody has avocados.
That's why we're not eating them.
I actually also don't have one. I was just going to show you with the beetroot. Wait, show us the pineapple and let's see how it went. And then we're going to do some vegetables and soil.
Jonah's going to talk and I'll show you Mr. Pineapple Head here. So this is the old pineapple, the one that's all wrinkly and brown. And this is the new one. Okay, so Jonah, what did we do?
So what we did was we cut the pineapple head from the pineapple and stuck toothpicks inside it and rested it on top of a jar with water in it, like what we've done with the garlics. Then it took us like 2 weeks, and slowly the bottom of the pineapple head began to sprout roots. And when the roots were long enough, we filled that pot with soil, dug a small hole in it, thread the roots through the soil, and just rested the pineapple on it.
And that was this one, this old wrinkly thing, which didn't used to look old and wrinkly. That was the original crown of the pineapple.
And then one day, then the leaves of the old one started to fall off, and in its place, and replacing it next to it, then sprouted a couple more leaves, and then it looked like that. So that's our pineapple head. It will take I don't know how long it will take before we can take it out.
So as in next to it, on those roots, you're having this pineapple plant growing here. And eventually it's all gonna die, and this new one is gonna grow into a pineapple plant, and we might get a pineapple, but it just really depends on, I don't know, I've never done it before, so.
What? Climate change. I don't think you're going to get a pineapple.
Apparently you can sometimes if it's very warm in your house. But it looks cool, so you can see this old one is gradually dying off. Eventually this old one will be dead and gone, and we'll get rid of it all, and we'll be left with this brand new nice one here. Yeah, but I mean, we started it in like July, so June even. It was a lockdown project, so you need a lot of patience. Anyway, there it is. It's very nice. We like it. It's like a pet now, family pet.
Well done. That is so good, Rach and Jonah.
Jonah, how did you feel about your pineapple?
I like it.
And why did you call it Robin?
Because that was the name that you came up with, I think.
Was it?
No,
It was actually a suggestion of our Uncle Martin, who messaged one day in lockdown and said, why don't you grow a pineapple crown?
And I mentioned the name.
So there you go. That's it.
I love it. It's really awesome. And
Well done, Jonah.
I don't know anyone else who's actually done that. So I highly recommend that. If you get a pineapple, if anyone at home gets a pineapple and cuts off the top and manages to do what Rachel and Jonah have done, then you must send me a picture, because I've never done that before. And it's just really, really awesome. I'm going to try it myself. I don't know where to get. I'm going to try and look for a pineapple.
Really cool.
And then if you have a heated greenhouse that's heated 24 hours a day and huge, then maybe you will get a pineapple. But for the rest of us, it will just be a lovely plant, but it'll be really awesome. So let's try and do some of the vegetables we haven't done yet. Who has a leek, an oniony, leaky?
Yes, we do.
Great.
Do it in soil.
Try it. You can definitely try it in soil. So there's two ways to do it. You can do it exactly the same as the carrot, in the water, or you can do it in the soil. Now, what you want from the leek is about this much leek, same as the carrot, about this much, not a lot. And the bottom, exactly, Hadassah, you've got it. You can even see the roots. In a leek, they'll often leave you with a bit of root. Beautiful, perfect. Even a bit less if you want.
You're frozen. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Am I frozen?
Who are you talking to? Talia? Can you hear?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfect.
We can hear
Okay.
you fine. How do you plant it in the soil?
Yeah, you can plant it in the soil or you can put it in water. So how you plant it in the soil is, I'm going to show you with the top of a carrot, because I don't have my leek. I have a little pot of soil. It's this big. This is actually quite big as pots of soil go. You can have a pot of soil that is half the size. Does everybody have a little pot of soil, or do you need to put your soil in your pot? I tamp it down. Make sure it's nice and tamped. Josh, disconnect the headphones. Come on.
Oh no, I think we lost Talia. Hopefully she'll join back soon.
She'll be back. The internet in her place is.
Yeah, I'm just going to pause the recording and then we'll carry on when she gets back. Welcome back.
Right, sorry, not sure where I went.
We can only see your photo at the moment.
So it's coming. Okay. Soil. We've tamped down the soil. Now we take the top of the vegetable. We've got the carrot. And we're literally just putting it, nestling it into the soil. Nice and nestled. It's important to be firm, to have a firm contact between leek or carrot or whatever you're doing and soil. Okay, you're showing me your ginger. Is that right? Yes.
With the leek, I have the end of the leek. Which way up should it be?
The leek, it should be, the roots should be in the soil. So the little bit sticking out of the bottom of the leek need to be in the soil.
Okay. No, we do.
If we've only got water, do we do the same thing just in water?
I'm going to show you exactly with water. Exactly. With water, remember with the water, oh, now my water's a bit muddy, but it's fine. Remember with the water to be changing it regularly so that it doesn't get moldy. Both of them, you want to put in a warm, sunny-ish place. It doesn't need to be a sun trap, but it's good to have some sun. Now, once you've done, if you're doing it with soil, and you've put it in your soil.
Frozen again. Is that me or is that you?
It's very important to keep the soil wet. It needs to be kept damp. So my recommendation is to take a bowl or a plate and put the pot in the bowl and then fill the bowl up with a bit of water. Just a small bit. Just a small bit of water, you're just popping it in. And then you should have your bowl of water, your pot of soil, and your leek or your carrot. Hadassah, you guys can do this exact same thing with the ginger. I know you guys have ginger. You don't need to use the whole thing. You can cut a chunk off.
The whole thing's a root, right? So it doesn't matter which bit? Or...
Yeah, it's all a root, exactly. So you can just take, just chop a bit off of the root. Now, ginger is also a warm country vegetable, so it does need to be kept in a warm, sunny location. You could even try like just over a radiator. I just say that you need to remember to keep it quite moist.
So we're doing the same thing, just which bit do we pop in the water? Which bit's going down?
That bit should go in, that's a plant that should really go on soil.
Oh, on soil, completely underneath. And what are we expecting to get from this?
You're expecting to get some green shoots.
Yeah.
And once you've got those, we could plant it. It could be actually planted and you could get a plant. Again, like it needs to be in quite a warm location.
Right. Talia, random question.
Yeah.
With carrots and ginger, where are the seeds? Where do the seeds come from?
That is a really, really good question. With something like a carrot, that is called a biennial plant, which means every second year, I'll show you a kind of imagery of it. We've got a carrot. Pretend that these are the green leaves coming out. Every second year, amongst the green leaves, long shoots come with seed heads in, with little, I wish I had some to show you, with little seed pods in them. And in each seed pod, a carrot can produce, like 20 long sticks filled with seed pods, tens of seed pods, and in each seed pod maybe like 100 seeds, hundreds of seeds. So each carrot can produce many, like hundreds of seeds, each one carrot. And
So
it's
that's
supposed to
once
happen
every 2 years.
Yeah, it's supposed to happen once every 2 years, but for some reason, some of my carrots just do it that year. If I leave them too long, they'll just start producing seed heads. It should be once every 2 years. But the funny thing about nature and rules in nature is that they tend not to follow the rules that humans make. So we say biennial plants should produce seeds every 2 years. And the carrot says, well, I should do that, but sometimes I will do that. And sometimes I won't do that, just to make everything very confusing.
From our food scraps, if we plant it, is it possible for it to create seed pods, or that's not because it's not coming from a seed to start off with?
I'm not sure it would have enough energy to produce seed heads. For a plant to go to seed, it needs to have quite a lot of energy because it's basically multiplying itself. So I don't think it would have quite enough energy to do so. I would also just say that, like, the carrots, the food scraps that we're using, I don't know if your food scraps are organic or not organic. And the only reason why that matters is because non-organic vegetables have often been sprayed with a growth prohibitor, which means it's just a technical term for saying it won't allow it to grow. So you're going to get a bit more success with organic than non-organic. On the other hand, if you just do loads, you'll probably get some success with some. So yeah, lots of different plants have lots of different kinds of seeds. Right, where are we on the vegetables? Have we done potatoes? This is a good one because it usually works. If you don't have a potato, you can do this with other things. But potatoes, I don't know if you knew this about a potato, potatoes have eyes. Let me show you an example of a potato eye. On your potato, you might see a tiny, which one am I showing you? A tiny little kind of white dot.
Can you use small potatoes, or does it have to be big potatoes?
It can be small potatoes. What you want to find is the eye of the potato. Yeah, exactly. You've got a big eye. That's my little eye. It's like a little hole, kind of, with a little tiny bit of potato coming out. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Both of you, I can see both of your eyes. Each eye is important because it can make the shoot of a new potato. So actually, even though at Sardare we often tend to plant whole potatoes to make new potatoes, each of these potatoes can make a new potato in and of itself. Well, one potato can make like 20 potatoes. Actually, each of these eyes can also make a new potato. So when there wasn't a lot of food around and it was difficult to grow potatoes, people used to cut their potatoes so that each eye could grow a new potato. So for this, you're going to need a knife. So just please be careful. You don't need to use such a huge knife as I have. And you want to make sure you have a bit of potato with an eye. It can have more than one eye. Here's a bit of potato that I've chopped, and it's got a couple of eyes on, and that's fine. You can have more than one eye.
If they're a tiny potato, do you have to cut it, or can you just plant it whole?
Oh yeah, that is a very little one. You can do it whole if you want.
Okay, but will it be less successful, or does it not matter?
I think it should be fine. I mean, the thing is, if you take a regular potato like this and you just leave it, you don't even plant it, you just leave it, put it in a cupboard somewhere and leave it for like 2 weeks. If you go and check on it, it will start to grow new potatoes. Really. But you want to make sure each piece has an eye. So I chop it. Then, now the thing is about this is that we can't really do it straight away, because well, Zara, you can, because you're just going to use a whole potato. If you have cut it, you need to wait for this bit that you've cut, the cut bit, the shiny bit, to kind of harden over a little bit. Now, potatoes you don't want to put in the sun because they go green, and the green makes them poisonous. So you need to put it in a kind of shady way, maybe in a cupboard. Take your pot of soil and just for now, put it non-cut way up. So this way up with the cut bit facing the world, facing upwards. And you need to put that somewhere dry and somewhere dark. It can't see the sunlight. Zara, if you're just doing your whole one, just put it on top of the soil. Just leave it on top of the soil for now.
If you don't have soil, can you put it on cotton wool?
If you don't have soil, I wouldn't put it on anything. Just go and put it in a cupboard. Honestly, just go and put it away in a cupboard. And in a couple of weeks, it will just start growing on its own. And then you can plant it outside. So after a couple of weeks, it will just start growing on its own and you'll be able to put it in the garden. So if you're doing this, you want to leave it overnight till this hardens. This shiny bit hardens. And then you want to turn it round tomorrow and put it in the soil. And leave it. Leave it for a couple of weeks and it will start to grow. And once you get shoots coming out of it, then you can go and plant it in your garden. Has everyone got theirs? I think Zara's gone to put hers in a cupboard. So you want to wait, put it like that tomorrow, and then it will start to sprout and grow new potatoes. And then you'll send me a picture. Cool. So what vegetables have we not done? Have you got your cabbage and lettuce leaves? This can be maybe the last veggie. Yeah.
What can you do with this type of thing? I'm not sure what it is.
Good question. That is a sweet potato, and you can do the same thing as a regular potato, kind of, but the problem is that sweet potatoes need a lot of heat and a lot of sun, so they don't really grow very well in this climate. So I'm not sure. You can definitely try it. I would try and just put it in some soil and put it in a sunny location, warm location, and leave it for a bit and see what happens.
Also, can we do anything with an onion?
Yes, you can. Yeah, should we quickly do an onion now? Okay, for an onion, you can either use soil or water. What would you prefer?
Water.
Okay, so take a cup.
Bye, pals. Thanks so
Bye,
much.
Rach. Put the water in the cup, Zara, when you've got it. See, this is my onion. Very good. Then let me just grab my onion. That's very nice. One sec. And it's going to be very similar to the leek. So we've got our onion. And this is going to be a bit easier than doing the garlic clove because it can stand up on its own. All right, put a bit too much water in there. Oh. You need it to stand up in the water. If it doesn't, you might want to use a bit of kitchen oil or stick or something to make it stand up. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's looking really good. Mine is not shallow enough for the onion, so I have to do it in a different kind of jar. Here. It's fine, because the roots are in the water. And let me show you quickly with, just while we come to the end. with this. This is just a plant. This isn't, yes, perfect, Sarah. This isn't a food plant. This is just a house plant. I chopped a bit off this house plant a few months ago. And put it in some water, just in a jar of water. And this is how many roots it grew. So many roots. And that is what the roots are going to look like in your leek, in your onion. You're just going to have all these white roots come from the bottom. And that's when you're going to know it's ready. All these, a big bunch of white roots from the bottom. And that is how you'll know. And if you have any house plants knocking about, you could just try and do it with that. All you do is take a leaf like this, houseplant leaf, and you put it in some water and it will make roots. Right. I see you're holding a courgette. As we come to the end, I feel like now is a good time for experimentation.
My dad said he used to throw his courgette peel, like when he was cooking, he just took all the peel from the courgette and just put it in the garden. Like he didn't even bury it, he just popped it on like the part where he had like his stuff. And like literally a whole new courgette plant grew with flowers and everything.
Wow, amazing. And that is because if you open a courgette, sometimes you might be able to see the courgette seed. And there's lots of courgette seeds in the courgette, and it might just grow again if you put those seeds out.
Yeah, so we can try doing that. Do you want to try doing that? Yeah. They're very pretty. They've got beautiful flowers.
Yeah, exactly. Courgette seeds are nice and easy to grow. You just take a little pot of soil and you put a little seed in the soil about 1 centimetre under the soil, and you'll have a little courgette plant. If I was going to be sowing courgette seeds, I might wait though, maybe a few weeks, just because it's still pretty cold outside and courgettes prefer the summer.
Right. So the best thing would be to like try and get out the seeds and sow the seeds, or we could do something with the actual scrap.
I'd say that the only thing you can do, well, I've never done it with a courgette scrap, but I would definitely say it's a good time for experimentation. Oh, Zara's got a leaf. I'll show you that now. Is the top bit.
Yeah.
Actually, no, sorry, the bottom bit, the opposite to the top bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try and do the same kind of thing, like put it in. Actually, I'm not too sure because it doesn't, the courgette comes from inside of the flower. So whereas with a carrot, you'll pull it up and that will be the plant. This kind of comes off the top. I'm not sure which way would be best. I would just take the top and the bottom and put them in some water and see what happens.
We will do that and we'll let you know what happens.
Do some fun experimenting. All right, Zara, let me show you the leaf quickly. That's another goodie. Just take, again, a little bowl of water, a leaf, and the bottom of the leaf, you put it in water. And eventually some roots should come out of it.
Where's the bottom of the leaf?
Right, so here we've got a leaf. Can I see your leaf? Oh. Okay, I'll show it to you from the actual vegetable. So if you've got is it from a cabbage, yeah?
Yeah.
This is the bottom of the cabbage. This is the top of the cabbage. Because this bit has the root bit. So when you're taking the leaf, you need to make sure you get a bit of that bottom.
No,
that's the second time somebody's done that.
A bit of the bottom. So each leaf you need to make sure you've got a bit of bottom. Does that make sense? And then you just pop it in a little bowl of water. But you need to make sure the leaf is standing up, so only the bottom of it is in the water.
What bit of the kohlrabi should we put in the water?
The top of it. The top bit. Because that bit will grow up. There you go. Perfect. And a celery is another really good one if you ever have it. If you put the bottom of a celery in a glass of water, that often does a good job and becomes a lot more celery leaves. Celery.
Which way would you do it? You would do it sort of, this bit would go down.
Yeah, that bit would go down in the water. Celery and carrot are the ones that I've done, and potatoes, of course, are the ones that have worked really well for me. The other ones I haven't really done, so we'll have to see. I'm excited to see from your guys' progress. You'll let me know how it works. And I'll let you know about mine.
What are you expecting from the kohlrabi?
I'm not really sure. Maybe green shoots.
We'll find out and we'll report.
We'll find out. That's a bit of an experimental vegetable.
Amazing.
Amazing. All right. Well, are there any other questions that you have? Otherwise, the main thing will be that you'll all send me pictures, and I'm sure I'm going to get millions of questions about how things are coming along. Just message me and I'll let you know.
Thank you so much, Talia. That was really great. And I'm sure everyone will have fun experimenting and logging down what's going on. We'll definitely send you pictures and updates. And thank you for helping us.
Actually, I have a question.
Go on.
Can we experiment with other vegetables and just like think of a way to do it? Like, how could we think of a way to do it? Like, if we just had another vegetable and we just got it in.
Great question. I would always recommend just putting the root side, the bottom of the vegetable, in a bit of water. I'm putting it somewhere quite sunny and quite warm, and then changing the water every few days, and something should happen. Or it will rot, which in and of itself is pretty cool. Sometimes I watch rotting things for like 2 weeks at a time to see what happens, because the process of rotting is really amazing. It goes all different colors, it changes consistency, but that's just me.
And how long do you think it would be good to put these things in the garden if they're being successful?
I would show me before you put them in the garden, and I'd wait. Basically, you want about this much green, probably, like quite a lot of green. And it just needs to be a bit more clement weather. Like if we're still going to be expecting snow, we can't be putting this in the garden because it will all die.
Fair enough. All right, brilliant. Thank you so much, Talia. That was great.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
To plants for Bishvat. And everyone should check out Sadeh. Sadeh's
yeah.
Bye.
Bye.